toward the Lebanese border with last-minute ground attacks before the ceasefire came around 10 p.m. our time. Many are wondering if this ceasefire will actually hold. More in.
And speaking of that monsoonal moisture, high pressure is going to remain off the coast of Texas. Along with that counterclockwise flow, and so it brings that moisture into the Rocky Mountain area around the Four Corners. That thunderstorm activity is going to increase for Monday and Tuesday. Our weather headlines around here, well, we might have a nice breeze at times, especially during the evening hours. Clear skies, however, are going to continue to stick around, and our temperatures, they're going to fall back just a little bit. I think you're going to like that 5-day forecast. Here's how we're looking in the valley. In Marysville, 57 and 94 tomorrow. 90 degrees for Sacramento, 93 in Folsom, Woodland, 58 and 92. How about in Lodi? 62 and 91, 95 in Stockton. Tracy coming in with that high temperature, right around 90 degrees. Upper 80s for Auburn, yet lower 90s for Georgetown. Jackson around 93 and 86 degrees in Sonora. Don't expect any big breezes out there. Our winds are going to be fairly light. Southwest 5 to 15 for Reno with 93, 79 in South Tahoe, and 80 degrees for Pollock Pines, 98 in Red Bluff. And for Chico, 95 degrees. Let's check out San Jose, 80 there, 67 in Monterey, and 71 in San Francisco. How about here? You know, the sunshines are coming up. Our skies are going to stay clear for the next 5 days, and look at these daytime highs. Overnight lows, mid to upper 50s, perfect. 90 tomorrow, upper 80s Tuesday and Wednesday, 90 degrees Thursday and Friday. And on into next weekend, if you're saying, boy, that's kind of a boring forecast.
No.
Next weekend, lower to mid 90s.
Oh, really?
So it'll go up just a little bit, but it's still pretty cool for this time of year.
We're loving that, Angelique. Thanks a lot.
All right.
You know, lots of food and fun today at the Sacramento Buddhist Church Bazaar. The bazaar started back in 1940s.
Pieces of the vehicle involved in this crash. In fact, take a look right here. You can see this piece of the car involved in this crash. The family living in this home says enough is enough. Someone in the city has to step up and stop this problem before somebody is critically injured. This is a battlefield of bent metal, of broken cement and dead trees. Years of battle scars from a non-stop war between vehicle and home.
I was sound asleep, and I thought I was dreaming. Then all of a sudden I hear this big bang.
3 this morning, this white pickup runs off the road at 21st and 62nd into this yard, misses this home by just inches.
So I jump out of bed, I look through the blinds, and there I see this truck.
Margaret Neal has lived in this home for 54 years and has seen too many drivers lose control and crash in her yard. So has her daughter.
And thank goodness it didn't hit the house this morning. It hit the tree instead, and it hit the brick.
Both say the biggest problem is speed along 21st.
You can hear the cars going like 100 miles an hour. You can just, in fact, they don't even stop at the stop sign. They'll accelerate when they get there.
You'll hear the skids of the tire, and you go, and I hold my breath, and there's no bangs.
23 years ago, Margaret cemented in these metal posts in the front yard. Today, these two helped slow the pickup. Her family says it's another reason to move out.
This is just like my right arm, you know, I can't move. I'm used to this house.
Now, the driver arrested on suspicion of driving under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Now, we asked the people that live in this home, what are some of your best ideas for fixing this problem? They say, hey, maybe add speed bumps along 21st. At the very least, they will be replacing these 2 pillars that you see here and adding pillars likely all along the side yard here. Will that be enough? Well, the family obviously hoping that will. We're live this morning in Sacramento. I'm Naj Halakan. Now back to you.
All right, thank you, Naj.
Well, more evidence of the heightened air security in the wake of the foiled terror attack.
Stephanie Cruz at the World and National Desk now with major evacuations at LA International Airport.
Very busy day there. Police evacuated an Alaska Airlines flight after a suspicious item was found on board that no one claimed. All 125 passengers and crew were taken to a terminal in buses this morning after the plane stopped in a remote area of that airport. Bomb-sniffing dogs later determined it did not contain explosives. Airport police were notified about that suspicious item on board after the plane left Guadalajara, Mexico. Even with a terror threat downgraded from critical to severe, the British government is warning that terrorist attacks are still likely. A ringing telephone can still pose that kind of threat that can turn a passenger jet around. One jet was turned back to Heathrow when a phone began to ring and no one admitted to owning it. And there are still plenty of eyes in the skies keeping a tab on things.
It does not mean to say that there is no threat from terrorist attack to the United Kingdom. Indeed, it is still highly likely there will be a terrorist attack and attempts to damage our people and our country.
Britain's terror threat was downgraded in hopes of freeing up travelers bogged down since the alleged terror plots first surfaced. As both Hezbollah and Israel claim victory in the Middle East, the United Nations says the ceasefire is, quote, generally holding. Manuel Gallegos is at the United Nations in New York with more.
They are refugees in their own country, with a fragile ceasefire holding and the skies quiet for the first time in the month-long conflict. Thousands of Lebanese are now making their way back to what is left of southern Beirut and their villages. We have to turn the page on this blood and pain, this man says. But many displaced Israelis, some living in tent cities, don't feel it's safe to return to areas ravaged by Hezbollah.
I don't trust in Hezbollah to keep the ceasefire.
In an unprecedented move forward, Lebanese and Israeli officers along